At a certain point in the book of Exodus, you think that you'll get all the detail you need. What the priests will wear, how the tabernacle, the Mishkan, will be built, the kind of relationships that judges have with people and have with each other. You think you get to the point where you're done with details, and then you come to this Parashat VaYakhel. And one of the things you'll notice is that you just don't stop. But the big difference in this week's Parsha is that there is an assembling of the people that Moses accomplishes. He brings the people together much like he brings the materials together, like they all bring the materials together to build the tabernacle. And there are too many things. The stuff piles up. It's as if you called for donations to build something holy and you got more than you asked for. And strangely enough, in today's religious communities, sometimes you find that to be the case. We're emerging from a notion of scarcity that has everything to do with recession, but also the recession of our own confidence, our own souls. Sometimes you see that turn around too. And then the community that you've been working so hard to build turns out to have more than enough with which to build itself. That actually comes very, very clear when the description of some of the furniture for the Mishkan is described. And so we have the Kruvim, the cherubs that are above the Ark of the Covenant. We've got the table for the showbread. We've got a menorah. A lot of that we've heard already, but one of the most beautiful things that we hear is the kior, the washing basin. It's made out of copper mirrors, and a very, very famous midrash tells us about those mirrors. You see, those mirrors were used, according to the midrash, by the Israelite women during the Egyptian slavery. They would take those mirrors when Pharaoh worked the men to the bone. And the women would say to the men, "We know you are so tired, but there is going to be a future, and there is more than enough with which to build it. All we need is each other." And so in a world where it feels like you have nothing, they had mirrors. They used the mirrors to make themselves beautiful. And of course, it speaks to a different societal reality. It talks to a physical beauty. But we have to read from this week's Parsha that there was spiritual beauty within as well, because those very mirrors which help the women beautify themselves, that is how we approach God. It is a reflective wash basin made of those mirrors with which we prepare for the holy. And so the message of this week's Parsha could simply be, and it isn't so simple, but you could say it in 140 characters or less. There is more than enough beauty with which to build this world of ours. We have moments where it feels like there isn't enough. But when you're blessed, and we are blessed, you have more than enough.